You know what Blender is, you aren't here for a history lesson, let's go. You can hold down middle mouse to rotate the camera. You can hold down Control and middle mouse to zoom in and out. You can hold Shift and middle mouse to pan the camera. You can right click to open a menu for basic options. Depending on the setup, you can press space to open a searchable list with all Blender commands. You can press the number keys on your numpad to move to set camera angles. You can hold down Control to move to the opposite side. You can hit G to move an object, S to scale it, and R to rotate it. During many operations like this, you can press X, Y, or Z to lock in a certain axis. For something more advanced, you can hit Shift and an axis to exclude it from the operation, such as moving without changing the height if you press Z. While having an object selected, you can hit Tab to put the object into edit mode, allowing you to directly change the object's geometry. These models are called meshes, by the way. In the top left, you can change your selection mode between vertices, its corners, the edges, or the faces, its surfaces. While having any part of the mesh selected, all your operations will be limited to only that part. Locking in an axis works the same here as in object mode. While having something selected, you can hit E to extrude that selected part, and hit I to insert the surface you have selected. These two combine nicely. You can hit Tab yet again to go from edit mode back to object mode in a toggle fashion. As with most systems, you can hit Ctrl-C and Ctrl-V to copy and paste an object. You can also hit Shift and D to immediately duplicate an item, allowing you to move it with the cursor immediately. This is where you can change settings such as what button you use to select, or what your spacebar does, in your preferences under the Key Maps menu. You can hold Shift and click on several objects to select them all at once, and you can hit Ctrl and J to group them, which will center around your most recently selected object. You can hit A to select everything, and in edit mode it will select every bit of geometry of every object in edit mode. While in edit mode, you can hit P to separate, which allows you to select singular bits and separate them to work on them. You can also right-click to cancel any operation you are currently doing, like moving, scaling, or rotating. In Blender, physics do not come built in, meaning you can move two objects into one another, making them clip. This is regarded as an overall bad move. You can group them, which will cause trouble down the line, so we will use the better method of using a certain modifier called Boolean, which you can find in the little wrench menu on the little toolbar to the bottom of the object list that has been staring you down for the past few minutes. There are 3 types of Boolean operations. Difference allows you to cut a hole into a mesh using a different mesh. Union allows you to combine 2 overlapping meshes with their geometry being adjusted accordingly. Keep in mind, this will leave you with the original mesh, so don't panic about the clipping you're seeing now. You can simply delete that. Intersect is self-explanatory. It will leave only whichever part of the mesh is intersecting and or overlapping. Something else that's useful is the Bevel tool, which allows you to bevel edges or vertices. Once you selected either, a yellow dot and a line connecting your selection will appear. Click and hold on this to use this function. Upon performing any operation within Blender, in the very bottom left you get a little box you can click on and check many options. Another thing you can do is select 2 vertices and either using the drop down menu or the space menu I mentioned to merge vertices, which allows you to smoothly combine meshes or fix some wacky edges. The following only apply in edit mode and are a little extra. While hovering your cursor over a mesh, you can hit Ctrl and R to add a loop, which is a fancy way of saying a series of edges going around a mesh. You can also move your scroll wheel up or down to add more or less. In case you want to take it into your own hands, you can press K to get the cut tool and create new vertices. You can hold Shift to center it on an edge. You can press Delete to delete things. What? This also applies to vertices and such. However, you can not only delete but also dissolve. Feel free to experiment with the dissolving, it'll save your ass sometimes. And lastly, you can also press F to fill things. This includes complete surfaces or simply connecting 2 vertices together. Anyway, have fun!